Hello everyone and welcome to Fifth North. I'm Demir and today I'll be installing an LED taillight on my 2024 Triumph Street Triple RS. Welcome back to the channel everyone. If you watched my last video on my Street Triple, you know that I do have a slight problem that I have to fix. I installed a absolutely beautiful tail tidy kit from Motodynamic, but I chose the low profile kit, which eliminated my turn signal bracket. So as of right now, my bike has no turn signals on the rear, which obviously is a no-go. So how are we solving this problem? Very, very easy. So Motodynamic makes a kit. It is a tail light that actually has the turn signals and the brake light all integrated into one unit. So what you do is you take out the factory brake only tail light and you replace it with the Motodynamic LED light, which is going to give you obviously a really nice LED look. It's going to give you sequential integrated turn signals, and it's going to give you a brake light, which is actually kind of cool because it's a regular brake light, but also has the ability to be a flasher stop alert brake light. So it's kind of programmable and it gives you a couple of different options. So really cool solution. Again, another high quality item that I looked at and said, hey, this part looks factory-like. It has the fit and finish that I'm looking for. So I decided to give it a shot. So again, if you guys haven't seen it already, go back and watch the tail tidy video. That's how we got to this point. Today, we're gonna go ahead and install the integrated tail light and the whole thing will be nice and complete. Let's go get started. All right, so first things first, like always, you do wanna go ahead and remove the rear seat cover here. And then you're gonna wanna go ahead and unscrew the seat here. There's just one Allen holding it in place, so go ahead and get that undone. And it's kind of a long screw, so it might take a little bit of turns to get there, but once you undo it, the seat should come out pretty easily. All right, so now what you want to do is remove the plastics here. You've got one bolt, a second one, and the third one up here. And it's the same on the other side as well. Technically, you don't have to remove these. You can kind of just have them hanging on, but there's a really high chance you'll scratch your paint. So I do recommend not being lazy and removing them. And again, just a couple of Allen bolts, really easy to remove. So normally what I'd recommend is removing the top two and then leaving the bottom one in. That way the plastic doesn't just fall off and hit the ground. That way it'll kind of keep it in. I take the two off on each side, leave the bottom ones in, and then I'll remove them one by one. And then obviously when you're loosening those, hold on to the plastic, that way it doesn't hit the ground. And then once that last Allen bolt is out, the plastic piece here should come out pretty easily, just kind of slides out, kind of like a downward motion. It'll slide out and you're good to go. All right, and then next, right here next to the Triumph OK sticker, there's going to be a little black bolt. You're going to want to go ahead and remove that. It'll be right next to the cable. And then it looks like a regular screw, but it's actually not. It's a screw with a clip in it. So once you release the screw, you're going to be able to pull the clip out. Should be pretty easy to remove, but just be careful because I have definitely snapped a couple of these clips in the past. All right, so once that's done, you're going to want to go ahead and remove the bolts that are here. You got 1, 2, 3, and 4. They're all going to be just regular 8mm bolts, so go ahead and remove those. And then you also want to remove the washers as well, so just be careful not to lose those, because obviously it's a very tight space. If you drop one, it's going to be a nightmare to get out. All right, so once they're out, you'll notice that the part starts to jiggle now. And then what you want to do is lift up the plastic here to basically pull it out and then pop it out. And then once you get that part out, it'll make it to where the tail light can come out. All right, so I brought the camera in a little bit closer for you guys to see. So again, be careful with all the wires. They're all kind of clipped in, so you don't want to damage anything. So release them from the hook. And then now you can lift the plastic to start sliding this part out of the way. So you gotta get it down far enough to get the part loose to pull it back out. And there it goes. And then once you have all that removed, what you want to worry about is this cable right here. The cable is actually connected to your tail light, so you want to go ahead and separate it. That way we can keep working. So go ahead and pull the little clip and the two parts will come apart. So go ahead and leave that cable there. You'll go ahead and use it for the next tail light, and then obviously leave the assembly here with the turn signals. The only cable that needs to come out is this one right here. Now, I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but this part connects to two more bolts. If you pull the plastic up, you can see there's a bolt down there and a bolt down there. Those should need to come out, and then this thing will be completely loose. So go ahead and get these bolts out. They're just standard Allen bolts again. And then just be careful because they're kind of hard to get to with this plastic piece in the way, but if you're patient, you'll get it. And then now you'll notice that the taillight is a little bit too big to slide out in any which direction, so you do have to loosen this part to get it out. There's a small Allen wrench right here, and it's on the other side too, so go ahead and remove both of those. That'll give you much more flexibility, as you can see. Alright guys, so this part, like I said, just pulls up and out. But again, you have to do it when this is not installed. So don't make the mistake that I did. Leave that off, get the taillight replaced, then put this part back on. But for now, I'm going to try to just loosen it enough to get this to jiggle out to where I can actually get to the taillight. All right, so again, don't be lazy like me. Remove this part, the other parts off. Again, I didn't feel like doing all my work all over again, so I just loosened it. Long story short, I was able to wiggle it out, and here is the taillight. The new one's going to obviously go in here, and then I'll tighten everything else back down. And then for reference, here is the old versus the new. You can see it's much more LED based on this one than this one. And I also went with the smoked clear versus the red. So now what you want to do is grab the sub harness that came with it. You want to take the blue and the yellow and connect it to the blue and the yellow on the light. So you want to connect those together. Once you've connected that, we can kind of go from there. Wire all the things, right? So you want to take all these clips here, and you want to work with all the clips that were left here. So what I recommend is, you see this one has blue and black. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's blue and black, blue and black. Go ahead and connect them. And these should just kind of snap in. Should be very simple. It's kind of like a twist if you will. And then on this side, it's a little bit different. You've got black and yellow and black and green. So put the black and the black, and then put the yellow and the green together. I'm not sure why they're different colors, but that's the way it's going to work for you. And then, if you remember, on the end of all this, you have the brake line that we disconnected, the brake wire. That's going to connect on the end of this plug here. So these two will come together like this. Now, one thing I'll highly recommend is keep the shrink wrap on the light the whole time. It's going to be kind of flopping around, and you don't want to scratch it, so keep that on there. And now what we're going to do is be able to test it. Okay, so with the bike on, we've got just the standard red light. If I hit the brake, so you guys see that it's off, hit the brake, it'll flash and hold, right? So brake off, flash and brake, hold, okay? And now we're going to test the blinkers. See it's how it's sequential. And you got the sequential, if you guys can see that. See how it's sequential? And so really what you want to do now is get this back inside. Again, it'll be easier for you if you remove the whole thing and don't do it the silly way that I did it. Remove the tape, get that off of there, and then you want to just go through and kind of tuck the wires. Now, the big thing about the wires is make sure you read that warning label. They will heat up, so make sure you put the wires in a place where they have room to breathe. So again, much easier if you do it right and you remove all this, but I did it the hard way. Now that it's back in, I just have to reverse everything that I did, tighten it all down, and then get all these wires, this crazy mess of wires. You guys look, you'll see the wires are everywhere. So I'm going to get that tucked in a little bit better and clean it up. And when I come back, I'll show you guys what the final product looks like. Alright guys, so it was mentioned earlier that the sub harness, which is this part right here, can get hot when the turn signals are turned on. So you guys will notice I've run all the wires through here. I've kind of tucked everything underneath here. So when I put that plastic piece back on, it'll kind of keep everything concealed. But then I made sure I ran the sub harness of the turn signals into this corner here. And everything behind it that it's touching is all metal frame. So that's going to help it kind of dissipate that heat, and it's not touching any plastic components. So I'm making sure that I follow the warning that was given. Alright guys, so you'll notice I put the seat back on, I put the plastics back on. I went through and just checked every single bolt to make sure it was good. This is nice and tight now, it's installed. The integrated brake light turn signal, and then you'll notice I did most of the wires I brought in underneath the plastic, and I tucked them in down here, so they're all mostly down in this area. This part I just kind of let hang loose here. It's about as far as I can get it. as these wires are a little bit short, and that's pretty much it. So once you double checked all your bolts, you can put the seat piece back on and you're basically done. All right, so just for comparison, on the left side, we have the factory setup. As you can see, just a basic brake light, nothing fancy to see there. And then obviously we have the factory turn signals that are still installed to the factory tail. And then on the flip side, on the right side, we do have the Motodynamic all-in-one tail light, which again has the integrated turn signals as well as the brake light. All right, so that's it. The install was nice and easy. I did forget to mention at the beginning of the video, there are two versions of this taillight. There is the clear version, and then there is the smoke version. The one that I installed today is the smoke version. So in case you guys were looking at the website, trying to figure out which one you wanted, here's the video of the smoked one. I personally prefer it, but obviously whatever you like on your bike is the one that you should get. So as you guys saw, the install was very simple. The fit and finish, again, was fantastic. What I love about this kit is that there's no splicing of wires. There's no, soldering, no heat wrap, nothing. Everything is pre-built for you. Everything is plug and play. And so really, if you ever wanted to reverse it, you have the option to, because again, you didn't break anything or, dismantle anything that can't be reversed. So again, big shout out to Motodynamic for making such a smooth and simple kit and for making it so super plug and play. And again, you guys, I'm not a super mechanic by any means. So for this kit to be that easy, I really do appreciate that. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I think it turned out really nice. The tail tidy and the tail light put together really put a new look on this bike. Again, I mentioned it before. I think this bike is extremely good looking, but the tail took away from that. And I think now it's just every angle of the bike looks great. I mean, we added the fly screen kit a few videos ago. We now did the tail tidy and then obviously the tail light. And I think it really has transformed the bike. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. And if you like how it looks, hit the like button for me, right? That does help out the channel quite a bit. And then obviously, if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button as well. But thank you guys for watching. The bike is definitely not done. There's a lot more in store, so stay tuned. And I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.
Oh.